Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Bill and Scott Sports Show. I'm Scott, and I'm joined today by Kevin and Ethan. Thanks for joining me, guys.
You're welcome.
All right, so we're going to start off with some exciting baseball news. This just in, Josh Hamilton signed a 5-year, $125 million contract with the Angels. He's leaving the Texas Rangers. So now that makes the Angels another really big threat in the American League. Now with, Pujols, Trout, Trumbo, Josh Hamilton. Kevin, what do you think? Do you think they're going to be a threat?
Oh, they're definitely going to be a threat. There's no question they're going to be a very competitive team this year, especially with the state of the other teams in the league, in the division. My fault. Seattle's never really been a threat. Oakland.
Absolutely. What do you think, Ethan?
Well, Seattle, the only thing they really have done is just sign Jason Bay the whole time.
They still have Felix Hernandez, though.
Yeah, he is basically one of their big stars that they have.
Yeah.
And the Rangers, they've been making big moves, getting rid of Young.
Yeah, and they got rid of the Angels got rid of Greinke.
Yeah, he went to the
So, what about Angels pitching? I think.
Well, I think they'll still be
Yeah,
okay. They shipped out Heron and
They'll definitely be fine.
Yeah. But speaking about Greinke, he signed a 6-year, $147 million contract with the Dodgers, who it seems like are just keep spending. Add him to Clayton Kershaw, who won the Cy Young, Chad Billingsley, Josh Beckett, Aaron Harang, and they recently signed Korean left-hander Hyunjin Ryu.
Well, excellent job in pronouncing that, Scott, because I couldn't have done a better job. I don't really know much about this guy, but I do know a lot about Greinke. He's a pitcher who pitched for the Royals and pitched for the Angels in the second half of the last season. The Dodgers also signed Skip Schumacher, second baseman, so they've definitely been spending money.
He's a good ball player.
The money's flowing out of Chavez Ravine about as fast as it's flowing out of Wall Street. Ethan?
What do you think about it?
Well, Schumacher, he's basically an all-around player. He can basically do everything. And the Dodgers, it's kind of surprising how they have all of this money that they can spend on.
Yeah, I think Magic Johnson's like a part owner now.
He is.
That's a pretty big deal.
Yeah,
He's got a bunch of money after his days.
Very true.
But yeah, their pitching is just they have a great pitching rotation. I think the problem is just gonna be their hitting. But they got Gonzalez and Crawford from the Red Sox. So I guess it won't be that bad if everyone's healthy.
They have the pieces. The question is, can they put them together?
Yeah.
Shane Victorino is now on the Red Sox.
Yeah.
So that's
true.
Getting rid of one of their outfielders.
And the Dodgers actually do have the highest payroll in baseball now. Not the Yankees anymore.
Pretty impressive stat, because the Yankees have dominated in that category for the past few years.
Yeah, all right, so speaking about Magic Johnson, we got the Lakers, who, they had so much hype because of their new big four of Steve Nash, Kobe Bryant, Pau Gasol, and Dwight Howard. And they're 9-13 so far, and they've lost 5 out of their past 6 games. Pau Gasol's hurt. Magic Johnson says that Pau is being misused. Steve Nash is hurt, so they got to find a point guard. What do you guys think? Ethan, what do you think about this? What do you think about the Lakers?
Well, even when Nash comes back, there's still a bunch of very athletic point guards, especially when you play against good teams.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of hype of questioning if he's the right choice for them, but he's not really the most quickest point guard to guard people like CP3.
No, that's true.
Rondo.
And the Lakers were looking into signing Delonte West or Eddie House, who are, they're actually old and slow. So,
Sort of like Nash is becoming.
Yeah, I mean, when Nash is healthy, he is one of the better point guards. But the problem isn't even Nash, I think, with the Lakers. It's, Dwight Howard's having a pretty good season. He can't hit a free throw. He's shooting
all them bricks.
He's shooting like under 50%, I think. And, there's the situation with Pau Gasol, who was almost traded, and still with the team. Kevin, what do you think about Pau Gasol, though?
Well, I think really Gasol, when he switched to the Lakers, it really wasn't a good career switch for him. I think he's a better forward on a team like Memphis, where he was before. On a team where he's like the lone star, he always played better on a team like that. Now that he's in the limelight in Los Angeles, I think it's not working quite as well for him. That's part of the reason his plays turned worse this season.
Oh, that's a good point. That does happen. His brother Marc Gasol, though,
still plays for Memphis.
He's pretty successful. He's a
very
tough
good
guy. But so now looking into the future, Ethan, do you see the Lakers making the playoffs this year?
Well, they're probably going to end above a 500 clip. They have the players to do it, because eventually Pau's going to come back.
And they're only 4 games away from it now.
Right, but
it's not that hard to
the
gain.
playoffs in the Western Conference is the harder conference.
Because you got teams like the Thunder, the Spurs.
So, did you say you don't think that the Lakers can go far this year?
Well, maybe they'll make the playoffs as one of like the 5, 6, 7, or 8 seeds.
But all right. So you're just saying it's too early to.
It's too early to tell. Yeah.
We are about a quarter of the way through the season, so.
Yeah. And also we got the New York teams are doing pretty good. The Nets, the Knicks.
Yeah, the Nets have really backed themselves into a wall lately, though, because they've lost a good amount of games in a row now.
Surprising play from the Knicks, though. They've played really well.
Yeah. Someone should really tell Steve Novak what a two-pointer is.
He doesn't shoot.
That's cool, though, that their basketball's back in New York. That's exciting. So they can renew rivalries with Boston.
It's a good thing for the game. They've been foundering a bit lately.
Yeah.
In terms of their fans, and it's good to see basketball back in a big city like that. It'll get more fans for the game.
Yeah, absolutely.
With the Barclays Center and all now.
Yeah.
It's definitely bigger in New York.
Yeah. And I think we also forgot to mention, speaking about New York and Boston and baseball, Kevin Youkilis.
Oh,
who,
yes.
Former Boston Red Sox player, signed a 1-year, $12 million contract with the Yankees because they have A-Rod out until the All-Star break, and Keppinger and Chavez signed with other teams. I mean, Youkilis only hit .235 last season, but the Yankees were desperate. What do you think?
Well, I think this is a terrible move by the Yankees, and I'm just only going to apply it sitting here as a Red Sox fan, but you're paying $12 million to a guy who hit .235 last season, and they're already spending over $100 million on A-Rod over the next 5 seasons, who at most will be a serviceable designated hitter. They really needed to go cheap here, but seeing as the Yankees front office doesn't know the meaning of the word conservative, I'm not surprised they went with the big name option. But
Youkilis is a Yankee killer. Hopefully he kills the Yankees.
Yeah, see what he does when they go play Boston. That would be a bunch of booing right there.
Yeah, instead of people saying "Yuke," it's just going to be all boo.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah. So speaking about Uke, Kevin's got some UCONN news for us.
All right. Yes, sports over at the UCONN, about 30 miles down the road, are at an all-time, high right now. The teams are doing great. Men's basketball, women's basketball, hockey. They've all playing right now. Football season just finished. Unfortunately, they didn't make a bowl game.
And get nothing.
5-7 for the second year in a row under Coach Pasqualoni. But over in the men's basketball world, they've only lost twice and they've won about 10 games. Their only 2 losses have been to New Mexico and NC State, who are both nationally ranked. So they're excusable for a team that's not eligible for the postseason.
Yeah, they're looking pretty good. They are, like you said, ineligible for the tournament. But I do think Kevin Ollie's doing a pretty good job leading them.
Yeah, I'd have to agree.
And I think it only looks positive for the future for UConn men's basketball.
Ethan?
We'll see what happens, basically, because they can't really play it much in the postseason and the tournaments. But still, they're still performing well.
And the tournament is like the most, most teams make the tournament. Even if you have a so-so season, you still make the tournament.
In a conference like the Big East.
Yeah.
And you'll end up going early in the tournament, too, because usually you play one of the better teams.
Right. But I think it looks good for them.
On the topic of the Big East, the Big East football schools have been having a bit of turmoil lately. A lot of them have departed for the ACC, Big 10, Big 12.
Yeah.
Anywhere besides the Big East is where you want to be right now. And UConn's still a charter member of the conference, and I believe they're the last one left. Do you guys see a move in the future for UConn football?
UConn's been trying to move. UConn's been trying to move. They just, was it Louisville who just moved?
Yes, it was.
And every team, UConn tries to move, and they just get denied every time. So
Ain't getting nowhere.
And as typical for this time of the year, UConn women's basketball is still undefeated. They're nationally ranked second behind only Stanford. Baylor and their 6'11" center Brittany Griner have lost the game to Stanford, so that's why they're not nationally the number 1 ranked team. But UConn is a freshman scoring 20 points per game, and they look poised to be as good as they always are under Oriema.
Thank you for that. Then we got NFL. It's kind of winding down. The playoffs are coming up, but these last few weeks are going to be exciting.
Especially for those of us with fantasy football teams, these are the weeks you really need to pay attention to.
The playoffs.
These are the big ones.
Wish I could still say that about my team.
The kind of weeks you look forward to at the start of the season.
Yeah. So what do we got going on?
Some of the big scores from last week include Seattle's 58-0 triumph over Arizona.
That was just a trashing.
If you can even call this a game. Arizona's lost 9 games in a row.
Yeah, something like
I believe
that.
so. And Seattle's defense is just too much for them in this one.
Yeah, in this game they had 4 interceptions, 4 fumbles, 2 touchdowns.
What about Russell Wilson?
Well, he's actually a very quality quarterback considering the team he had to deal with this year.
Yeah, very underrated, very good.
Keep in mind in this game, the one stat you need to know, Seattle's backup running back ran for 100 yards in this game, Robert Turbin.
Ouch.
So that describes how well Arizona played last Sunday. Another big game here for you was the Colts and Tennessee. The Colts won 27-23, coming back from down 13 points. Is this the kind of victory that shows us that the Colts could be a legitimate contender in the playoffs, Ethan?
Well, they only need one more win in the playoffs with the 3 games left. But the bad news is they play the Texans twice.
Yeah, but I
That's
mean,
true.
As Billy said previously, the Colts have gotten lucky with Luck. You know, I mean, Luck has turned out to be a very good quarterback. You know, I don't think he'll be able to compete with RG3 for Rookie of the Year, but still, I mean, he's turned this Colts team around, and he's the quarterback they need ever since Peyton Manning has left. And so I do think that the Colts are going to be a legitimate team now because of Luck.
Worth the first-round pick.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you mentioned the Texans. They were 11-1 before this week. They're lost by 28 points to the Patriots.
Good win by the Patriots.
That's very true. I've heard some people saying that this means the Patriots have clinched the AFC, are going to be in the Super Bowl again, and I personally don't think that it's over yet. Just after one victory for the Patriots over Houston, anything can happen in the playoffs. You guys share the same view?
Absolutely, anything can happen. But I do think that the Patriots are once again going to be legitimate title contenders. What do you think?
Yeah, they have one of the top-ranked offenses now. They're even running the ball well now with Ridley.
Yeah, that's nice to see. And now that they're running the ball successfully, Tom Brady is doing even better, and he's putting up MVP potential numbers again.
Yeah, even at the age 35, he's still going strong.
I mean, don't put age on him. You know, we got Peyton Manning, who's I think 36.
He's
and
getting up there.
Who's no doubt going to win Comeback Player of the Year, but it's also going to compete with Tom Brady for MVP. And who do you think would take that battle?
Well, it's definitely going to be close, I think.
Absolutely.
Well, Tom Brady's been probably one of the best consistency quarterbacks in all of football. This year he only has 4 interceptions.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's really Brady, maybe just by a little to beat Manning.
Yeah. What do you think about that one, Kevin?
I've characteristically been very bad at predicting MVPs in the NFL. You never know which way they're going to vote, especially in a season like this. They're very close, and I think both of them deserve awards for how well they've played this year. It's sad they're going to be one MVP.
Yeah.
So
can't win them every time.
It's very true.
Yep. And some sad news in the NFL that we had. Cowboys nose tackle Josh Brent was charged with intoxicated manslaughter last Saturday in a car accident on which he was driving drunk and his car flipped and rolled. He wasn't harmed, but the sad thing was his teammate Jerry Brown was in the car, and Jerry Brown passed away due to that car accident. And that's just, tragic once again. Brent posted his $500,000 bail, and he's, free and walking. But I just think the guilt from something like that has got to be much worse than any penalty he could possibly get.
Yeah, it's the second tragedy that's happened in the past few weeks, considering the Chiefs' tragedy.
Jovan Belcher, the Chiefs linebacker, who committed suicide at their team facility. And with Brent and Brown here, we're talking about 2 college teammates in the University of Illinois who were very close on the team, even though Brown was on the practice squad. You could tell they were very close, and it's got the emotional and mental impact on Brent cannot be underestimated. Yeah,
Brent was placed on the reserve non-football injury list, and the Cowboys have said that they do support him, or they have he has their full support in what happens in the future. But I hate to say it, but I don't think he should be deserved to play football again for the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, by now his career is probably basically over after considering what he did.
I mean, being the football player he is, they say the maximum jail sentence is 20 years. He's going to get out of that without a doubt. But I think Roger Goodell really needs to lay down the hammer on this one with driving under the influence.
Something can't be tolerated.
And having your passenger die. Roger Goodell really needs to lay down the hammer and ban him for life. That's what I think.
It's not the way to end basically your career.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not.
Yeah.
It was good for them that they at least won on Sunday too.
Yeah, it was good. It's just like how the Chiefs won
for the Cowboys.
After. Yeah, the Cowboys. What about the Cowboys?
A resilient victory over the Bengals, 20-19.
Do you see the Cowboys this season as becoming anything?
Well, they have to basically come back against the Giants or get a playoff spot. They're still in contention though, so anything can happen.
They can't be the Giants in Dallas though.
I think the Cowboys will have a meltdown. Personally, I just don't think the team will make it to the playoffs.
I think it's going to come down to a final PAT or field goal. Tony Romo is going to somehow end up holding it, and he's going to screw it up.
He's going to fumble the season away.
Yeah. But I think that's all we have for today. Thank you, Kevin.
You're welcome.
And thank you, Ethan, for joining me.
Nice to be here.
And we'll see you guys next week. Thank you very much.